Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. And through this channel, I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this, this is a journey of investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategic or compound return investing. So the objective is to try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us in the challenge for little as $9 a month and also get access to the exclusive in-depth strategy video, information is available in the description below. In the previous video, we looked at some important aspects for tick symbol MMTLP with regard to what we can expect to be included in the S1 once it's made available. We also did due diligence for a new stock tick symbol RIG, so please refer back to the previous video for important updates on both stocks. In today's video, we're going to be looking at MMTLP and also some important updates for tick symbol MULN, Mullen Automotive, so stay tuned for that. So before we make a start on important updates for both stocks, let's have a quick look at what's happening in the market. So the key thing that's trending right now is news with regard to Twitter, but the key headline here from Bloomberg, we can see the tech sell-off is sinking stocks hit by earnings, and obviously the market is still a little bit jittery. So in terms of the euro, is euro edging closer to parity with the dollar, and obviously difficult general times ahead for most of the European and the US investors. But with regard to Twitter, we can see here Musk is about to face punishment with regard to the Twitter stock. The saga may be now moving on to court. So in terms of anybody looking at Twitter, so let's have a tweet here from Will Mead, and he's stated here that with regard to Twitter, if the deal does not go ahead and it's confirmed not to go ahead, I think he's expecting potentially a price drop for Twitter, possibly down to around about $11. So if we do see the price of Twitter down to $11, in my opinion, I think that would certainly be a steal. So I'm going to start by having a look at tick symbol MULN, Mullen Automotive. There was some breaking news today, and this was broken live in the Discord as it happened. So obviously to get live updates, you can join our Discord for less than $9 a month. But let's have a look at the news with regard to Mullen Automotive. So here, headline from Globe Newswire from the 11th of July 2022. Headline here is Mullen Automotive signs binding agreement with Delpat Logistics, which is an Amazon delivery service. And we're looking at partnering for class 1 and 2 electric vehicle cargo vans. So this is excellent news, but the one thing I'd like everyone to be aware of is that this is not the announcement for the Fortune 500. So this is a deal in addition to that, which is what we are obviously we're still waiting for that. But let's have a look at some further information with regard to this important development. So what I'm now going to do is focus on some of the conditions with regard to this agreement between Mullen and DPL. So the conditions include things like DPL is going to place a purchase order for 600 Mullen Class 2 electric cargo vans over the next 18 months. So this is a tremendous catalyst here for the stock. And it's also a positive sign in terms of in the future also we potentially could get a lot more orders. So this, I think, it could be the first of many. With regard to the 600 Class 2 EV cargo vans, these are going to be fully homologated for the United States. So it is for a local market. Remember, Mullen Automotive is US based and US manufactured, and I think that's a positive thing. The first 300 fully homologated for the United States Mullen Class 2 EV cargo vans are going to be delivered by to DPL by November the 30th, 2022. So again, just a few months left for this. All Mullen Class 2 electric cargo vans are going to be equipped with airbags required by United States standards. As well as that, we're going to have cabin comfort package, adjustable seats, cup holders, infotainment systems, comfortable passenger seat, and as well as that, the cargo vans are going to carry a minimum of an 80 kilowatt per hour battery pack. So we know that the battery test results for Mullen Automotive have been very, very positive, and so this is a great piece of news. What I'd now like to finish off by having a look at is a little bit about the company Delpat Logistics. So Delpart Logistics, what we can see here is that they are an Amazon delivery service partner. The priority is to bring smiles to Amazon customers while consistently outperforming expectations and providing a safe and well compensated work environment for our valued employees. So the key selling point here is the partnership here with Amazon. Amazon is obviously, we know, is a huge multinational business worldwide. So this deal is potentially going to be generating some tremendous revenue for Mullen Automotive going forward. And this order could obviously be the first of many. The last thing I'd like to look at is an angle from the point of view of Amazon. So I'm going to focus here on something called the last mile problem. So if we have a look at what's stated here, from the point of view of Amazon, as Amazon we know is a company that directly employs hundreds of thousands of warehouse workers throughout the world and obviously hires regularly temporary staff in peak periods such as Christmas time. So in terms of the last mile delivery sector, Amazon has taken a different approach, and what it's focusing on is expanding its network of contingent and subcontracted drivers. So in terms of the highlighted section at the bottom, what Amazon would like to do is decrease its dependence on the big four. We know one of these companies is UPS and the other one is USPS. One of the problems from Amazon point of view is that these companies are heavily unionized. So Amazon is investing in parcel delivery as an alternative. So by 2019, in terms of half of Amazon Prime packages were delivered by subcontractors or contingent workers. So in terms of what we're seeing here, this could be a solution for Amazon, especially for the long term, but in terms of a benefit, the indirect benefit certainly could be here for Mullen Automotive. What I'd now like to do in response to the previous video, which was very successful, looking at what potentially the S1 could contain. So this has prompted a number of viewer questions. So what I'd now like to do in the final part of the video is focus on some of these important viewer questions with regard to the potential dividend, potential spin out, potential transfer of assets. So first of all, let's have a quick shout out here to Distinguished Mustachio. And the question here is, why do my broker doesn't let me hold private shares? What to do? My broker doesn't let me hold private shares. So in response to this question, I think this is a question that all investors will be thinking about, including myself. I think almost all brokers will not allow you to hold private shares. So what's the situation here? Because obviously once it's transferred to a private company, we will not be able to sell. What the situation here for everybody, including the Distinguished Mustachio, is that almost all investors will be in the same situation. The plan after this will be to find a buyer, and then hopefully we will get our options to either get a cash dividend, to get a payout, or potentially transfer into shares into a buyer such as Conco. And the next question is really for European and UK based investors. So shout out here to Christopher Stone, and he stated here, so again, if anybody watching can help with this question. And the question is, any of the UK viewers have Hargreaves and Lansdowne accounts? Just checked that the value of the MMTLP preferred shares is showing as 0. It shows how many shares I have. What's happened, very worrying. So the implication here from Christopher is that previously on Hargreaves and Lansdowne accounts there would have been a value, but right now there is no value. So from my point of view, what I have stated here is not aware of this in specific situation, but with regard to Trading 212, there is a value, but that value is nominal and it doesn't mean anything because investors on Trading 212 are unable to buy or sell. So whatever the price is, it makes no difference. If it squeezes up to $100, we will miss out. The next question here is a shout out to M. Casey, and the question here he said is, can we expect a PR about the S1 and the sale? So again, everybody is waiting with bated breath with regard to this S1. You know, we have been tempted with news and suggestions and implications and cryptic tweets suggesting it could be very, very soon. I think most people are expecting it in the month of August at the latest. Hopefully it happens before that, but let's see the response to this question. So again, a shout out and a thank you to Mike B, who's responded. He says the S1 will be filed the same or next day. There will be a press release from the company explaining everything. Then we're looking at 2 weeks to trade MMTLP close out position. So then this was covered in the previous video as well. The remaining shares of MMTLP will be exchanged. Nextbridge private shares will have no value just a placeholder. So agree with that. That is correct. Then after that, the conversion is complete. Nextbridge will then tell us what is going to be happening next, what the plan is. So this could include a buyback. It could be a sale to another big company such as Conco. And it could also state that the company are expecting to continue with drilling, because obviously there is a requirement from the lease to do that. That will be the PR, but we need that to come from Nextbridge, and it has to be after the shares are fully converted. So the only tricky situation here from many of the investors' point of view is official communication from the company has been very limited. Next question is more of an open question for many people, and this is with regard to what decisions will most investors make. So I am surprised by the response from Thermite Grenade Lee. So let's see if many people agree with Thermite Grenade Lee, and what he said here is, I hope the shorts get their asses handed to them. I'm going to try and hold until $80. So again, very, very surprised with that. But again, credit due there. That is certainly the best example of diamond in the hands I've ever seen. If, you know, Thermite Grenade Lee is true to his word there. I fear there will be some that will sell if it hits their buy, but buy in this point. So he's saying he's going to hold till $80. So that's quite staggering. Okay, partner, but to be fair, less than $80 would also be a killing. So certainly agree. Not for everyone. My response here is, I think if it does hit $80, I believe many people will become millionaires. So obviously bad news for Thermite Grenade Lee. Although he's holding to $80, he's stated he will not be one of these millionaires. But the interesting question I'd like to ask for the viewers is do you have a price in mind where you will sell MMTLP if there is a squeeze, or are you like Thermite Grenade Lee where you would hold up to $80? And the final question, I have to apologize, this is a question I think I'm going to struggle to answer because I have had difficulty. I do like to respond to many of the viewers with their questions, so I am asking an open-ended help and support with this question. I have tried to look at the Urban Dictionary and work out what the Kekronomicon is saying here. So these question or statement or something here, he says, I farred and shid my pants. So is this a question for George? Is this a question for the S1? So in terms of fard, in terms of the dictionary, that is referring to some kind of religious obligation. Shid, that's looking at a piece of wood, but obviously is referred to his trousers and my pants. So I'm not sure what this person is referring to. Is this something that we can blame George for? Is this something that we had a problem with the company? So any help and support to help Kekromonicon, who has stated this cryptic question in line with obviously what George has said here is, I farred and shid my pants. All help will be welcome, and we would certainly like to help Kekromonicon with this issue. And finally, what I'd now like to do is finish off by having a quick review of last week's weekly watch list. So this is exclusively available to members of the Discord prior to trading. So prior to trading, some of the stocks have already been released to the members, and two of the stocks have done exceptionally well so far. But this is a review of the last week's stocks that we identified exclusively. These are stocks include Akbar, and what we had here, obviously there was no trading on the Monday, but from Tuesday this was up in excess of 18%. CLVS we called out in the watch list, that was up in excess of 30% from Tuesday. FFIE is one of the best stocks that we've had. It has had gains in excess of 100%, but last week it also was up in excess of 55%. But what's interesting here, there was an opportunity to sell for an 80% gain where it did dip down a little bit. QNRX, as we also called out, that was up 10% from Tuesday. ACCD up to 20%, but with a chance of a 25% gain there. DVN, we identified as a long-term play with the target price of $50. It did hit $49, and this would have given a 10% return because it closed the week close to $55 again. And finally, we also called ALNA. That was also up 35% from the Tuesday, with an opportunity to sell for a gain of 45%. So overall, this was a very, very successful week for the weekly watch list, and congratulations to everybody who managed to make some successful profits. Last week was overall a very positive week. Many of the stocks did finish in green, and generally this was a good sign. And finally, just before we finish off, I'd like to share a quick update that we're also now something new that we're adding to the Discord, and we're also adding here in our section here, dates and catalysts, where we announce upcoming earnings, breaking news, with also FDA catalyst. So exclusively for the Discord members, many people who see stocks, many of these stocks that shoot up in excess of 100%, 200%, many of them are bio stocks, and these bio news is linked to FDA catalyst. When the FDA give approval, especially for phase 2 or phase 3, this can make a stock shoot up tremendously. So what we have here is dates for FDA catalyst. So these dates are imminent for July. So to get access to dates for these bio stocks, again, this is available to all Discord members. So finally, thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.